All right, Assalamu alaikum. I wanted to talk about what does it mean to attract? What does it actually mean? Because some people can take this out of context and misinterpret what does it mean to attract. And so, as clarification, I talked about it in one of my videos where I say your self-concept attracts the person that you want. And what can happen is, let's say they see potentials that they don't like and they start shaming themselves as in like, okay, why am I getting bad potentials? Am I attracting them? And to be very clear, what does attract mean is it is about what you allow into your life. So obviously, if you're a high value woman and you see yourself as a very high valuable, like you're a catch, you've been excellent potential for marriage. But so obviously everyone's going to want to be attracted to you. A lot of people are going to be attracted to you, including ones who aren't necessarily what you're looking for. Now, when that happens, that doesn't mean anything has gone wrong. But a woman who knows her worth will not entertain that in any way. She won't allow that into her life because she knows deep down, I would rather be happily single than entertain anything that is not something that shares the same values as me. Because a high value woman doesn't even question about like, oh, but what if I end up being single? What if I end up being what if I'll never be chosen? She doesn't believe that because her self-concept is solid in knowing that she is a catch, and whoever doesn't see that is confused, first of all, not their person. That she doesn't entertain the idea that it's her fault in any way. But what tends to happen with someone with a lower self-concept, they tend to blame themselves of like, this is why I keep getting lower quality people. It's like, what you mean? Like if you're a diamond and a lot of people want diamonds, even ones who can't afford it, they still want a diamond. Doesn't mean the diamond has done anything wrong. It just means it's a high a sought after thing, right? Now, I really explain this in detail in that video. It's called, I think I named it Your Self-Concept Attracts the Person You Want. When you see yourself as a 5-course meal, you're going to get a lot of people that are interested. How, practically speaking, I'm talking on a very cognitive bias perspective. The way you act, your energy, your everything is just very different. You don't take things personally. You don't if someone can tell me how to turn off this thumbs up thing, that would be great. Uh, you don't take things personally. You're in your zone. You're in your own world. You're not concerned about being single because you know you're a catch. You have a whole life to live. You value your life in so many ways. You know that a man liking you is not going to increase your self-worth in any way. And that in and of itself is very attractive. Okay, so I noticed when I did the shift, I went from being like, what's going on? What's wrong with me? Love sucks. Everyone sucks. To I love who I am. I would rather be single than marry anything that makes my life worse. Okay, so I only allow people that I really want. What did that look like? There was people who I didn't want coming into my life asking, and I'd be like no, and that's it, right? But people who attract the lower quality people are ones who are thinking like, maybe I'm being picky, maybe I'm not doing enough. So they kind of allow that into their life. Just because they're knocking on your door doesn't mean you have to open it. And that can, take it to what that means for you. Knocking just means, okay, you're talking to the person, and as soon as you see something that you clearly know you're not going to want to marry, you cut it off. And because there's no fear about being single, because you're a valuable catch, and you don't even worry about that. And when you're detached from the outcome and you're detached from what if I don't what if I don't find my person immediately right now? You're not worried about that because the self-concept is so solid When I say solid, you're confident that Allah has your back in so many ways to a level that you're it's unbelievably like it's unshakable. It's like, yeah, of course Allah's not given me my person yet because there's not anyone out there that's good enough for me at this moment that would help me in my deen or help me in any way that would improve my life. So obviously I'm still single because that's what's best for me right now. I would never, ever either shame myself for being single, see myself as less worthy for being single, which is what a lot of people struggle with, especially people who struggle in trying to get married. They see themselves as less worthy because the person they're not finding someone they want. So what do? They panic, they stress. Why isn't it happening? Why isn't it happening? If it just happens, then I'll get to breathe because their self-concept depends on if the man or the woman says that they like them back. That's the problem, right? That's the problem that's happening. So what does it mean to attract, right? I'm gonna be very crystal clear. When you solidify yourself, your values, you start living the values you say you have. You say you love Islam, you say you love community, you say you love volunteering. Are you doing those things coming from a place of full faith? And I'll tell you a story right now. And it's the happiest stories I've ever, like, it's happened this past week, right? This girl in my community, I love her to death. I've talked to her and she is just absolutely amazing, right? She went from, you know, self-pity about being single to actually living her life. She starts, participating and she's in the masjid. She's very active in the masjid. She plays volleyball with her friends. She's created a huge network of friends. She this and that, right? People start noticing that, and people start noticing, wow, this girl has a life. I want to be that. I want to be with her. And alhamdulillah, she just got married this weekend. She's absolutely like Allah facilitates when you see yourself and your current life as valuable and worthy, and you don't stress out about the outcome. So then you attract people because people don't want to be attracted to a stressful woman who's stressed about being single or a stressful man, right? Even a man who's stressed about being single, that's not attractive. But when you talk to someone and they see that you have a whole life and you don't really have time to mess around and you're not nervous about being single, of course, it's going to feel so much easier. So now, if you don't think you deserve a healthy, beautiful marriage, your brain is going to keep validating it by only focusing on the people that you don't want. So every time you get a potential you don't want, you might hyper focus on why you keep getting that. And because it's trying to validate, oh, look, you only get low potentials. That means this is why. It's because you suck and you're not confident enough and you're this and you're not that. And this is why you only get bad potentials. And what does that do? It validates that you're never going to get married. But however, if we just shifted for a second and we're like, no, actually, I know I'm going to only settle, not, I'm only going to get a beautiful, healthy marriage. And if I get any other potentials other than that, that's just Allah testing me to see how I react. And that's it. I don't have to make it this bigger story than it is. Has no reflection about me. It just means every time I get someone, I can say no, and then I'm gonna keep focusing on myself. As soon as you stress about why it's not happening, you're kind of back in the zone of why, like, self-pity and all that. And to be very blunt and straight with you, nobody wants someone who's stuck in self-pity. But when you're constantly operating from that, you're going to feel so much self-pity for yourself that you allow people into your life that you don't want. And so, yeah, so that is kind of a summary of, just to really be clear, you are the most you can do for yourself is to first of all see yourself as so valuable and really like be enamored, like so in awe of your life like, look how amazing my life is, and actually build up with the blessings that Allah has already given you, so that you know the your dua is cooking, it's simmering. Your dua is already in the oven, it's working out. You don't have to stress about it. And you're just, you're not even waiting. You're just living your life and oh, okay, there we go. Allah just delivered my person to me. And that's how it happens. Every time I have so many stories of how, subhanAllah, people start focusing on their lives, building up the lives that they want. Because why are we trying to get married? We're just trying to be happy. We're trying to feel fulfilled. But when you know how to be fulfilled in your life, Allah sees that you're using the blessings you have. And when He sees that you're using the blessings you have and actually being thankful for it, thankful doesn't mean like sitting there, alhamdulillah. It means actually using the blessings and enjoying it, enjoying the blessings that you have. You have, Allah has given you legs. Do you go out and exercise with it? Not exercise. Do you go out and take walks with it? Do you use your eyes to see the nature? Do the things that you love, which brings the gratitude into your life again and helps you just enjoy life, right? And then that's from that place of gratitude, your du'as just feel so much more different because it's not coming from anxiety. It's coming from like, alhamdulillah, Allah has given me all of this, and I know Allah's going to give me an amazing, incredible spouse, and I'm going to wait for that. And I'm not going to, you know, anxiously wait. I'm going to enjoy my life while that comes. And if it comes, alhamdulillah. If it doesn't, alhamdulillah. Um, I'll create a video on detachment a little bit more detailed so that we can get more specific on how to detach from the outcome, because that's the problem that causes people to feel anxious. Okay, I think that's what I have so far. And inshallah, I will see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.